Find out next. Welcome inside the Orleans Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada for the finals of the Brunswick Shootout and the 8th annual Brunswick Mini Eliminator. Hello, everyone. I'm Jan Schmidt, and I'm glad you joined us. We'll bring you 2 events today. Later in the show will be the main event, the Brunswick Mini Eliminator, but first the lead act, the Brunswick Shootout. And here to tell you how they qualified for that event is my partner, PBA Hall of Famer David Ozio.
Well, thank you, Jan. We started Monday with 280 players. 2 games were bowled to narrow these players down into several brackets. 32 players were in the 39 and under bracket, 16 players in the 40 to 49 bracket, and 16 players into the 50 and over bracket. Single elimination matches narrowed these players down to the 4 guys that we have here today. 2 of those players coming from the 39 and under bracket. So we've got a field today.
Well, that brings us to right now, and traditional scoring will be tossed aside. How will they make their money today?
We have a skins game format. These are the best in the world. We have the 1st through the 6th frame is going to be worth $1,000 each. The 7th through the 9th frame is $1,500, and the 10th frame alone is $3,000. 2 tie, all ties. So money will be carried over from one frame to the next, with the big money being in the 10th frame. So you better be on your toes for that 10th frame.
Well, it should be exciting. Let's meet those competitors.
Hi, I'm Bernie Iwasczyszyn from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'd like to thank Nick Smith and our group of 5 for giving me the support and the opportunity to be here, and hello to Kate in China.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Hayer. I'm from Oklahoma City. I just want to tell my family I love them, and let's win this thing.
Hi, I'm Pete Thomas from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Hi, Mom. How you doing? And I just want you to know that Jesus Christ is Lord, and we're going to have a great time today.
Hi, I'm Steve Boyer from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hi, Mom. I want to say hi to my girlfriend, Christina, and thank you to the Brunswick staff for all the help and support you've given us this week.
Today we have 4 exciting players that are going to put us on a great show. Pete Thomas is the most qualified of these 4 guys out here. He has thrown a shot for $31,000 here in Vegas before. These guys are pumped up, they're anxious, and this is going to be an intense match. Game on, folks. Let's go. Up to you, Jan.
Thank you, David. We are ready to start the Brunswick Shootout. First up, Bernie Iwasczyszyn. He is from North Las Vegas, nearby, a local competitor. And here's how he made it. Defeated several players en route.
Bernie comes out chunking. He says, okay, guys, I'm ready to play.
I want to start, so we got to start now.
Whoa, he's exciting. And in the booth with us, we have Lori Tesmar, the President of Sales and Marketing of Turbo 2-in-1 Grips. Welcome, Lori. As Lloyd Hayer steps up on the approach to make his shot. We have 1 strike so far. Lori, do you like this format?
I love this format. I've been doing this now for 7 years. This is a great tournament.
Knees might be shaking just a little bit for Lloyd. It's first time on TV, so I'll tell you what, he's going to have to settle down and put his nose to it.
Pete Thomas will be next up. Pete is from the 40 to 49 group. Lori, a lot going on with Turbo. You have a new line of tournament and team apparel?
Yeah, we've been out on the concourse all week long, actually for about 10 days now. And we launched a new line of custom apparel that we offer, and then we also do all the merchandising here for the tournament. So it's definitely a busy week, and I have to thank my staff for doing an outstanding job all week.
And there's our 2nd strike of the first frame. Remember, David told you 2 tie, all tie. That means the money will carry over to frame 2, making that worth $2,000.
Of course, Bernie is not very happy right now because he was on the perfect position there before Pete unroots him.
There's a look, 2 strikes. Now that money carries over. We're in the 2nd frame. And Stephen Boyer steps up on the approach to start this frame. Lori, new products also besides the clothing line, a new grip.
Yeah, we have a new grip coming out for pro shops. It's a multifunctional insert that's really designed to help pro shop operators cut down on the amount of inventory they have to stock. You know, between colors and sizes and styles, it really adds up to a lot. So we're trying to do something where it's multifunctional, where they only need to carry 1 product. They can do a multiple of things.
Steven struck, and Bernie steps up. I've seen those grips, and David, do you use those? You turn them, you rotate them, right?
I use the thumb slugs especially because of the fact that reactive balls have a tendency to be a little more tacky, and the slugs allow for the thumb to exit extremely comfortably, quick, and there's more repetition. You can create better repetition from shot to shot with it. So it's a mandatory must for all balls drill today's world.
Yeah, since reactive resin was introduced in the early 90s, and since then the urethane thumb slugs have taken off tremendously.
Lloyd Hayer now up, hoping to shatter Stephen Boyer's hopes with a strike here.
Well, currently Stephen is setting on $2,000 right now, and that was just crushed right there by Lloyd. So now we'll advance to the third frame, $3,000 on the line.
And Pete Thomas will start us off. As you look at the scoreboard, you see the dollar values for each frame. And once again, money is carrying over. That makes this third frame worth $3,000.
Well, as it stands right now, these guys, in some cases, are the best of friends and the worst of enemies. Depends on the frame they're in.
And there's the scores he bowled and who he defeated in order to get to this television show. As David mentioned, single elimination.
Come on, baby. Hit!
Pete's a very qualified competitor. He's done real well here in a lot of tournaments in Vegas, and he's always had success with it. So I'll tell you what, he's going to be the guy that I'm going to look at today to really put the pressure on the rest of the field.
Stephen Boyer will try to strike and match Pete. Lori, with all these new products, how are you accommodating all those products? Do you have a new location?
Actually, when I get back into town, we're going to be getting ready to move into a new 35,000 square foot facility, hopefully expanding our production a little bit more and branching out to more products.
Well, a strike to tie that frame. It'll carry over to the fourth. Through 3 frames, no one has won a frame in the Brunswick Shootout. We'll be right back. Don't go away. The champion round finals of the Brunswick Shootout and the Brunswick Mini Eliminator are being brought to you by Brunswick. Introducing the new Bernie Iwasczyszyn up in the fourth frame with $4,000 up for grabs. Lloyd Hayer with a chance to carry the money over. Come on, baby. Get in there. And he does. Now it's up to Stephen Boyer in the fifth.
Come on, ball wheel.
Steve puts a big X on the board, and the weight of the carryover falls on Bernie's shoulders.
That's it, baby!
So after 5 complete frames, nobody has won any money as we go into the 6th frame worth $6,000. Stephen Boyer now stepping up, again, also a local from Las Vegas, Nevada.
If neither one of these two guys strike right here, though, we'll advance it on over. It'll carry over into the next frame.
Stephen has struck every time up. Twice on lane 11, once on lane 12. Needs a second one on lane 12, and he has it.
All right, I have a new favorite. He's playing the gutter. You go, boy. That is an awesome shot right there. He's playing outside the first arrow, and I like to play that shot myself, you know.
So you're
This is a shot.
you're kind of backing out of your prediction there, huh?
A little prejudice on my part.
Okay, all right.
All right, big shot right here.
Bernie Iwasczyszyn, the senior.
It's all cast on his shoulders. The other two guys are begging for a strike right here so they can still be alive. A well-recommended deep breath.
Come on, Bernie!
And he doesn't get it done, so Stephen Boyer does draw the first blood. He wins $6,000. Lori Tesma, thanks so much for being with us. Dollar values go up when we come back. Stay with us. Worth $1,500 per strike with Lloyd Hayer up. And it's good, but Stephen Boyer also strikes, making the 8th frame worth $3,000 to the outspoken Bernie Iwasczyszyn.
That's a lot better. That's a lot better!
Bernie's hot today, but Pete Thomas matches his strike. Bernie and Lloyd went on to strike in the 9th, so the 10th frame will be worth $7,500 when we return. We are ready for the 10th frame of the Brunswick Shootout. Pete Thomas will start it off, and it's worth $7,500. Now, the rules, David, this frame is still a two-tie, all-tie.
Still two-tie, all-tie, and if we do have a tie through this, it will advance into sudden death, and it will be total pin count. So if someone was to get 9 and the rest of the players get 7, the one who gets 9 wins. So Pete starts it off with a strike and says, all right, I'm in the driver's seat now. Now look at that. He still pulled up on the shot just a little bit, but it was on line. Notice he stayed at the foul line longer than he did at the previous shots. So that held the ball on line. It gave it a chance to do its job.
Stephen Boyer now up in the 10th, and he wants to strike to make sure that money carries over.
Well, now we have the love-hate relationship going to happen here for the rest of these frames. So now the rest of the guys are pulling for this shot right here.
Come on, hold.
Oh, doesn't get the trip of the 4-pin.
Well, you heard him calling for hold, hold. He got the ball a little left to target. His hand was out of it a little bit, so he was begging for it to hold line. The ball almost did. That could have tripped that 4 there and kept him in the match.
Striker out.
Striker out. He only gets to make 1 shot right now, but that's okay. And I want to listen to what this man has to say when he throws this shot.
If 10 goes down on this shot right here, we could see some serious emotion, folks. I wouldn't doubt that he'd jump over that banner over there into the crowd.
Make a shot! Get up!
Wow. Didn't look like that bad a shot. He got it a little bit to the right, but, you know, might have threw it just a little bit too hard.
Okay, it is all up to Lloyd Hayer. If he strikes, all 4 are still in the game. If he does not, Pete Thomas claims the $7,500.
And we're back to my pick.
Oh,
now you
want him back.
Multiple chances?
Oh,
wait a minute, don't I have
back.
multiple picks here?
Oh, yeah, okay. See, you should have stuck to your convictions. Big shot here by Lloyd Hayer.
That looks like a pretty good shot. Just grabbed a little bit early. Pete Thomas is the champion.
$7,500. Pete Thomas, the champion. Well, we will be right back, and Pete will collect his cash in just a moment. Don't go away.
Pete Thomas, I had him all the way from the very beginning. Yeah, good, right. Pete, we have like to introduce Chip Zelke, Director of Marketing and Products, Consumer Products for the Brunswick Corporation. He has got all of the cash for you.
Woo. Pete, great shot in the 10th, great bowling, and on behalf of Brunswick, congratulations for a check for $7,500.
$7,500.
Thank you. He wishes it was $75,000.
Add another 0, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. That would be great.
Also, we have Mr. Robert Paravia here. He is the Director of Bowling Operations for Coast Resorts.
Great shot, Pete. When's the last time you threw 1 ball for that much money?
January.
January, oh, you did, okay. Well, on behalf of the Orleans Hotel and Casino, the 2001 Brunswick Shootout champion.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome.
A great job done, Pete. Great job. Now, earlier today, Jan Schmidt had a chance to talk with Chip Zelke.
Bowling is on the rise, largely due to open play, and Brunswick has created some innovative products that appeal to the recreational bowler. Here to talk about it is the Director of Marketing for Brunswick Consumer Products, Chip Zelke. Chip, tell us about this newest craze, the Visiball.
Yes, Jan. You know, for the past 100 and so years, we've been making black bowling balls, us and all the manufacturers. But recently, Brunswick's developed a new technology that allows us to put a graphic onto the surface of the bowling ball. It's very exciting. It takes something that was void once, makes it vibrant. We're having a lot of fun with it.
Well, give us some specific of what's available.
Sure. To the left, we have our Disney series, both the Face series and the Action series. In the center, we have random pattern balls like our popular fish design, the leopard print, and the space ball. We also have some larger sponsors, the Miller Brewing Company, which is now the official beer of bowling, and the Coca-Cola Company, which also participates heavily in bowling. And finally on the right, the Warner Brothers series, which is brand new in the last 30 days.
Well, this is fun for recreational bowlers, but can a higher average bowler use these balls?
Absolutely, Jen. Spare balls, this is perfect. You can drill 3 holes in them, shoot the 10-pin, shoot the 7-pin, or any cluster. Your percentage is going to be great.
Where can everyone go to get information on these balls or to get fitted for a ball?
Sure, good question. Visiball.com. That's our website for the Visiball collection. You can go online, look at all the designs, check out the available weights and quantities, and you can actually order online through Visiball.com. If you're not comfortable doing that, we have a dealer locator for over 1,000 pro shops in the United States. Directs you to them with their address and contact information. We recommend you see them as well.
Do you see any more of this in Brunswick's future?
We sure do. We have some exciting new licensed properties such as the Major League Baseball, the National Football League, the National Hockey League, as well as a few others are going to be coming in the next 6 to 12 months. So stay tuned. You're going to see a lot more from Visiball.
Once again, the winner of the Brunswick Shootout, Pete Thomas. Coming up, much higher stakes in the Brunswick Mini Eliminator. You won't want to miss it. The Orleans Bowling Center, we're ready for the main event, the Brunswick Mini Eliminator. And David, this will be an exciting event. One competitor will walk away with that first place prize of $50,000. Different qualifying for this tournament.
Excellent event. I've been here for the whole week. Most exciting thing I've ever seen. 50 states represented, 18 foreign countries. Including the re-entries, there were over 4,500 entries total. 1 in 12 advanced to the finals, 1 in 6 cashed. 50% of the players were eliminated after each round to arrive at the 4 players that we have here today, 2 of which are in the 39 and under bracket.
So the same age brackets as before, plus a women's division that bowl with a 40 to 49 bracket. Let's meet those finalists.
Hi, I'm Marcia Kamrowski from Boca Raton, Florida, and I'm happy to be here today.
Hi, I'm DJ Archer from Amarillo, Texas, ready to bowl the biggest game of my life.
Hi, my name's Derek Sapp. I'm from Keokuk, Iowa, and Dad, I wish you were here.
Hi, I'm Vaughn Doody from Las Vegas, and I don't know how I'm going to keep my kids from finding out I'm winning all this money.
History is being made today in the fact that it's only the 2nd time that a woman has ever advanced to the finals, and it is the 1st time that a super senior has been on this telecast. You have 2 young, hot-handed players here that are ready to give them all they want, so this is going to be a fabulous event. Up to you, Jan.
Thanks, David, and we are ready for the finals of the Brunswick Mini Eliminator. Those 4 people will be competing for a $50,000 first place prize. And here's Marcia Kamrowski that David spoke about, an All-American collegiate bowler, the 2nd woman only to make these finals. David, you watched her coming down the stretch.
She made some incredible shots in the cut game to get to this position right here and threw some just the most awesome shots I've ever witnessed by a human being do. And she was just intense and delivered the product. And I'll tell you what, I've got all kinds of high regard for that.
Leaving a 4-pin there, also stayed clean in all the matches I saw. And let's clarify right now, the elimination part of it is gone. It's 1 game, all 4 bowlers, top score wins.
Yes, the top scorer, and whoever has that is the champion, and that's just the way it is. So you're going to go out and just bowl the best game that you can possibly bowl.
And then goes down the line by score. 2nd place score gets $25,000, 3rd place $15,000, and 4th place $10,000.
The interesting about today, now looking at these players, is there's the game diversification. You got a straight player and you've got a senior player that's going to play them straight also.
DJ Archer, one of the finalists here, was out here earlier today, and David talked to him about his footwork.
High-level amateur bowling requires meticulous attention to detail. No matter what the venue, the object is to repeat great shots with maximum leverage applied. Adjustments must be made to counteract the differences. DJ sensed the lack of leverage and made the proper adjustments to his Dexter SST6s to counteract the problem. Too much slide placed the ball well out in front of his ankle. A quick change to a number 2 heel and a number 2 sole places the ball slightly behind the ankle at the stopping point, equaling ideal leverage.
Bottom line is, he's bowling for the championship today. Smart change from a smart player. Good luck today, DJ.
Thanks, David.
DJ Archer up on the approach. Big strike, getting a good slide, David.
Big hand on the ball. I love to see these players that just get their hand up underneath it and then just pull from underneath and put a lot of revolutions on it. They're forced to play the lanes deeper naturally. They send the ball to the right, but it comes back with authority.
First look at Derek Sapp, also in the 39 and under bracket. And I want to introduce Robert Paravia, the director of Bowling Coast Resorts. We're glad you're with us. He's in the booth up here, and it's the 4th year here for the Mini Eliminator. What are the chances of us coming back?
Well, I think it looks real good. I'm real excited about this tournament. We took it on 4 years ago. and it's done tremendous things for our property and our bowling centers. We're going to sit down after this tournament, and Steve and I are going to discuss the future of the Mini Eliminator here. I think it looks real good.
Speaking of looking good, I understand the Orleans will have a different look. You're making some changes here.
Yeah, we're actually having our televised finals down on lanes 11 and 12 because the north end of the property is going over a major renovation. We're putting a $120 million revamp of the Orleans. We're putting a 600-room tower, a 10,000-seat arena. We're putting more movie theaters on. It's quite a deal. We're excited about it.
Should be a great place to stay. I'll tell you, I saw that pool area. Wow, is that nice?
Yeah, it's a big one, and we have some great pool parties out there.
I need to attend one of those. And meanwhile, everybody's staying clean.
Yes, most of these players got up, and maybe the first shot jitters steered them into the head pin a little bit, took too much of it, and all of them left the 4-pin.
DJ Archer now up going high, leaving the 6-10.
Well, this is new territory for all these players right here, and it'll take a few frames to settle them down, but they're going to quick realize what is at stake, and some intensity should pour through here after the jitters settle down.
Marcia Kamrowski, several 300 games, and a bad shot for Marcia.
She's just going to have to line her shoulders up, straight to her target, and then make up her mind that she's going to go up there and throw an excellent shot at that target, and nothing else matters.
Robert, while I have you here, I understand that there may be another Mini Eliminator on the horizon.
Well, yes, actually, you know, the success of the Mini Eliminator here, Steve and I, we've put together a Super Mini Eliminator tournament that would take place right after the Super Bowl in January. And we're just putting the final touches on that contract, and it looks like the Super Mini Eliminator is going to be at our other property, the Gold Coast. They're actually the first property that our owner, Mr. Vaughn, put a bowling center on, so we're excited about that. And that should be this January, right after the Super Bowl. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, Marcia picking up that spare, and again, staying clean, very impressive with her spare shooting. Vaughn Doody, the super senior, as David mentioned. The senior bracket is 50 and over. The super senior bracket, 60 and over, but they compete against the 50-year-olds.
Exactly, and he beat some really, really great players in that senior division throughout this whole week. And one of the most notables is Vinny Atria, which won this event a few years ago, and I'll tell you what, Vaughn made these guys just go down quick.
Actually, Vaughn took down Tim Easley and Mike Truitt, who's made the finals here in the shootout before, in the final game.
Mike Truitt has had experience on the PBA Tour in the past and has done well in a lot of tournaments, but not won one.
Vaughn sparing it up, so all players staying clean. Nobody seems to have a strong strike line yet, David.
Well, technically speaking right now, DJ and Derek are tied at this moment, and Vaughn is 2 pins back and Marcia is 4 pins back. It's too early in the game to really make an assessment of that. Later on in the game, the gap should spread.
David mentioned the Pro Tours. Robert, PWBA, you also work with PWBA and the men's PBA. You don't only participate in Megabuck.
Well, no, we have the men's PBA Tour here in the Orleans. We have the senior tour here. We hold a regional event at the Gold Coast, and we just signed a 3-year deal with the PWBA to go out to our other property, the Sun Coast, which we just opened last September. And we'll have that, the Brunswick Women's World Open this November.
And the Pro-Ams will be November 3rd. DJ sparing up the 10-pin. And the 2002 Mini Eliminator. If you want more information on that, it'll be in June, July next year. Call 877-900-MINI. That is a toll-free number, 877-900-MINI. You can call that number for information about both this event in the midsummer and the event in January.
Not a very good shot there by Derek. He had a chance to take somewhat of a lead here if he was to strike there, and so that didn't happen. Now he's left himself with a testy little spare in the 310. He has to make the ball go right in between the 3-pin and the 10-pin to pick it up.
Vaughn Doody, meanwhile, in the 3rd frame. Oh, not tripping out the 9.
Ball's just a little bit high on the head pin. Also, too, as earlier before, the players get off the shot just a little bit too quick, and it makes the ball go to the left.
So an open frame for Derek Sapp. Wasn't quite able to get that in. Robert, I know with all the tournaments going on, does it take away from your family a little bit?
Well, yes, it does. And I have a new 1-year-old baby boy, and I really miss him. So, but, work is work.
Well, we're through 3 frames here in the Brunswick Mini Eliminator. It's a close one. We'll be right back with more action from the Orleans in just a moment. We're back at the Brunswick Mini Eliminator through 3 frames. The lady, Marcia Kamrowski, in the lead based on scoring of max score, which assumes that every athlete will continue to strike throughout the 10 frames.
Right. Her maximum score right now is 276. The closest one to her right now is Vaughn at 267.
DJ Archer leaving a 7-pin.
His last 2 shots, the balls were late. They went through the break point, rounded the corner just a little bit slow, and the 5-pin in that case didn't do the job with the 7, as did the 6 on the 10-pin the frame before.
Yeah, DJ actually very close, actually a pin closer than Vaughn to Marcia right now. Marcia crossing over, leaving a 6-pin. Seems to be struggling on that lane. David, she missed the head pin last shot on that lane.
Yes, she did, and I think she's just trying to get her legs under her right now, and that was a very close shot there for DJ. Another coat of paint on the pin, and missing a coat of paint, and it would have been standing.
Big smile out of DJ. Robert, you mentioned your 1-year-old son. His name is Connor, right?
Yeah, Connor and my daughter Sarah, and I love them very dearly. And they're back on a vacation in Buffalo, New York, with my wife Ray. And I miss them. I can't wait to see them.
And it's hard when these things conflict. Always an issue with athletes trying to combine, or any job really, trying to combine your job and family.
We just had the PBA here, and they just finished the senior event, and then the Mini Eliminator came in right after it, and it's just, we've been really busy.
Vaughn Doody in the 4th frame and leaving a 6-pin. Vaughn, local from Las Vegas, Nevada.
And I might say the crowd favorite, judging by the fans' reaction here most of the last 2 days.
Let's look at Derek Sapp. He's from Keokuk, Iowa. He's a student, actually, at Western Illinois.
Excellent pitch right there, and I rate that as a high strike, profile strike zone right there with the ball, the shots shaking the pins up like that.
Vaughn's got his fingers all taped up there.
He's bowled an enormous amount of games this week. Now we'll look at Derek's strike right here, deeper than the senior and the woman right there. Got a little bigger hand. The ball skids out, comes in light pocket, moves the pins laterally across the pin deck, a greater chance for one to bump into the other to knock them all down.
Come on, what time?
DJ Archer and coming light, not carrying out that 2-pin.
And strangely enough with that shot right there, DJ was just only 1/4 inch away from having the same exact strike. Could have had a strike that Derek had right there. He was just a little bit lighter when the ball got to the head pin.
Robert, would your wife be excited to see a woman on the telecast?
Oh, yeah, she surely would. I'm excited about it, actually. I think it's great. I really do. We'd love to see more women out here bowling in this event.
This could be trouble, and it is trouble. He was off the shot really quick, cuffed it at the bottom of the swing, going a little bit left, and so it was a steer shot, and that could hurt him in the long run.
It sure could. Derek Sapp now up in the 5th frame. He is working on a strike. Attempting to get the first double of the match. No doubles so far. Probably a lot of pressure on these players. And there it is, the first double. Big shot by Derek Sapp.
Well, he wants back into the match to position himself here for the final few frames, which are going to be the knee-knocking frames. We're talking a lot of money here on top place, and I'll tell you, it's a difficult position to have to try to handle.
Vaughn has been retired for 10 years. I asked him if he gets nervous out there. You know what he told me? I only get nervous when I write the check for the entry fee. Doesn't like putting out the money for the entry fee, but he reaps the rewards very well.
Well, nonetheless, he's going to get a really good payday today, and I don't think he likes that shot right there. He just got the ball a little left to target. The ball rolled up and leaves the 4, 6, 7. He's actually going to go for the 2 pins on the left. He wants the count because he's not out of the match, but his position's looking a lot weaker.
Look at the score as of right now. Derek Sapp now in the lead by 2 pins over Marcia Kamrowski. DJ Archer, Vaughn Doody have their work cut out for him.
The maximum game Derek can bowl right now is 258. And so he wants that accelerator all the way to the floor, and he's aiming for 258.
A little bit light for DJ, 245. Robert, I want to bring you in here a minute. Do you bowl yourself?
Yes, I do, but not much lately. We've had quite a lot going on here. You know, we just opened up the Suncoast last September, and opening up that new property really took a lot of my time. And, you know, I have 3 properties that I look after, and going from them day to day and trying to fit in my wife and kids, it's very difficult anymore. But I do love it. Yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah. Marcia coming up light again. She's really struggling on lane 12. And a spare for DJ Archer.
He's happy to have that one for sure. Marcia's just having trouble getting her feet in the right place for the ball to read the lane around the 35-foot mark. One time it'll skid a little too far. One time she gets it in a little bit, it'll want to hook. So it's a very confusing process whenever you're here trying to settle your nerves down and make great shots.
I want to make mention, in addition to all the divisions, there was also a special bonuses. Oh, as she chops that spare. 205 and under average bowler, and they had bonus rounds for them to compete to give them extra opportunity to get into the finals. So trying to accommodate a little bit lower average bowler.
There were some, it seemed like to me, 8 or 9 ways that you could advance to this day right here, which gives everybody the opportunity, and no one's really shut out. So it is more than a fair event.
And a big split for Vaughn Doody. Suddenly the wheels are falling off of everyone. Derek Sapp working on a double.
Big shot right here. He could get himself in the driver's seat if this one will go. He's challenging that light spot. He knows that it is a high impact strike, I might say, with the pins bumping into each other. So sometimes the better players, especially on the tour, they'll actually line up for that shot right there because they know it's a higher percentage strike.
Vaughn Doody will attempt to pick this up. He has a chance at it. Close, but it didn't make the 7-pin.
Now Derek's shot right here, notice that the ball is just a little bit farther to the right than the shot was before. It was probably a ½ inch more to the right than the one that shook the rack. And so the 1 pin went completely around everything and didn't come back to do its job in the 4 and the 2.
But he picks up the 2-pin. So he'll remain in the lead at this point. Marcia Kamrowski now up on lane 11. She's had the last 2 strikes on this lane.
By far her best shot of the day, and you know what, that's terrible when you don't get rewarded for it. So she just has to focus on the spare, go and bring it in, and work on the next frame.
DJ Archer walking around the ball return at this point in time, David, but maybe made a move a little too far.
Well, most of these between DJ and Derek all week had to do that. The younger players have stronger hands, stronger rev rates, and so they're forced to play the lanes deeper, send the ball to the right, unlike their counterparts down there who are playing the lanes more direct and more to the right.
Marcia covers up the 10-pin. And DJ, another challenging spare. He's making himself work on these spares. DJ also a student and bowls for West Texas A&M.
That's a good shot there, and he is very happy with it. Anytime I leave that spare, I'm happy to make it.
Derek Sapp now in the lead still. He's in the 7th frame. His goal sometime is to be a professional bowler.
Well, he has all the tools for it, that's for sure. He's got excellent mechanics. Nowadays, the hand is a big key to the success with throwing those pins around. So, you know, it's just climbing the ladder, success to get out and bump heads with the best in the world.
Robert, we're glad you were with us, and thanks to the Orleans and Coast Properties for all they do, or Coast Resorts for all they do for bowling. Do you have a pick here? You gonna pick one?
Wow, do I get to look at the scores?
Sure, take a look. Derek's in the lead.
Derek's in the lead. You know, I'm kind of got a sentimental favorite for Marcia and Doody because he's here. So, with Vaughn being the local.
Okay, thanks again, Robert.
Okay, thank you very much.
The nerves should start to be a factor now. When we return, we'll be back with the finish. Mini Eliminator. Derek Sapp in the lead right now by 12 pins. That's over Marcia Kamrowski, who's in second. Derek Sapp in third, and Vaughn Doody bringing up the end. And there is HandicapperTV.com sweepers. Two of the waitresses on hand to hand out that money, a total payout of $127,000. And there are the winners: Tony Zaluga, Doc Darty, Donald Bryan, and Danny Incencio. One of those, a super senior, also winning those. And DJ Archer will step up. He trails the lead by 13 pins right now.
Well, he's having a difficult time putting together the pattern with the lane condition. This is a very demanding lane condition Frank Ellenberg put out this week, who is the tournament director. And he scored low. He didn't want to run away. He wanted shots to be the premium. And I'll tell you what, he did exactly what he intended to do.
Well, and in that regard, David, Marcia told me that the reason she feels she's on this show is because she's been bowling actually on the Pro Tour for the last 8 weeks on the sport condition, the new WWC-ABC sport condition, and it has helped her become more accurate. She thought this seemed a little bit easy compared to the sport condition.
Well, most of the time, the sport condition that we bowl on out on the tour is much more difficult. But if you learn to bowl on the sport condition, you can bowl on anything. That goes for house condition, tournament conditions, whatever the case, you will become a better player. So that's my advice to the bowling public.
Because you learn to repeat shots. You have to.
Well, there's a big penalty if you miss your target right or left, whereas in most conditions it's not a penalty.
Vaughn Doody with a big double. Marcia Kamrowski now shooting at the 6th pin and covers it up.
But, you know, even still, with this condition being as tough as it is, there were 2 300s this week. Arturo Quintero and Michael Fagan bowled 300, and that's a testament to the quality of the players that are in this field. There's a lot of good bowlers. I really love watching them because I'll tell you, and there's a lot of international players that are just solid state players also.
Derek Sapp in the lead. That concentration.
He's wanting a great shot here. Wow, there's some serious pin action there, sports fans. That head pin was off the wall, standing up, vertical, coming back across.
So Derek Sapp still in the lead by 13 pins. That over Marcia and DJ, with Vaughn Doody just behind. So 2 frames left. It really could still be anybody's match.
Well, here's where the span on the bowling ball starts to shrink slightly here in these next 2 frames. So we'll see who can override it.
Oh, and a big break for Marcia Kamrowski.
I just think now she's getting her legs under. That was the last 2 shots. She left a ringing 10 and that trip 4 right there. So 2 best shots she threw of the match. So the jitters have gone away. I think she's ready to play now. So let's just see how this stacks up here going into the 10th frame with her.
DJ Archer in the 9th, working on a strike. He also wants to be a PBA member someday.
Well, he's got the hand for it, that's for sure. You know, there's a lot more tools required to be an efficient PBA player. The mental game has to be there, and the ability to travel as much as we do. So there's a lot of parts go into the making of a great player.
And being able to handle that travel, you're right, David, that's a good point. Derek Sapp, a big shot, and almost carried to Brooklyn.
Well, I tell you, it wasn't a very good shot, but I'll tell you, the nerves are starting to take a hold right here. He was really wanting that. That could have put, you know, just a big lock on the cap right there going into the 10th frame. So now he's got his work cut out for him.
DJ shoots his spare, and Derek Sapp now shooting at the 6th pin. Hard and straight covers it up, and Vaughn Doody steps up. His goal in bowling, David, is simple: to win.
Well, you know, when you have that drive to succeed, My philosophy has always been, what the mind can conceive, the man can achieve. And I'll tell you what, if that's what you want to do, and you spend the time and the money and have the desire, there's just no limits. And if I'm not mistaken, this shot here is for the lead.
And he leaves the 3-pin there.
Poor execution, really. I noticed that his thumb went down and then went back up, which automatically makes the shot go to the left. He's just going to mandatory make this spare. Now, DJ's in the 10th frame here. The best game that he could bowl, well, was 183.
Really needed
no,
to
193.
strike.
Now he can bowl spare strike 180.
Right. Which
Marcia's potential
probably
game here, well, that's still a...
You never know.
In this condition right here, anything can happen in a 10th, but Marcia's best game can be 203 if she strikes out. Now, Derek's best game is 206.
Right.
So we still have some intense pressure here, forced into the 10th frame on these other two competitors.
Spare for DJ, and hey, get all you can. You never know. Vaughn Doody's max score would be 190. Marcia, the only one working on a strike coming out of the 9th frame.
She wants to put this one together. I just feel she wants it. Going left. Well, it's not the break she wanted. She was hoping actually a little bit more to the left and would have been a Brooklyn strike. There's no hold area out there to hold these balls up against the wall of OLWE, so to speak, all the time about. So therefore, when you get it a little left to target, it's going to go ahead and keep on going and cross over.
Don't forget, not only the $50,000 on the line, but second place, third and fourth. $25,000 for second, 15 for third, 10 for fourth. So positioning where they finish here, very important. DJ Archer finishing with 179.
Every pin counts at this point right here, especially here for Marcia. She needs to spare this and get at least 7 or better to stay ahead of DJ.
And Vaughn Doody will need to double to go ahead of Marcia.
Vaughn Doody can actually strike this 10th frame out to get around Marcia and DJ and force Derek's hand in the 10th frame to get a mark, to win the tournament.
There's the first one. Well, the last 3 years, this event has been won last year by the 40 to 49 group, and the 2 previous years before that by the senior division. So the seniors have had the upper hand. However, Vaughn, a super senior.
Well, like I said before, the first time in history a super senior's made it, and he's carried his weight through this whole event so far.
So Marcia Kamrowski finishing up with 182, a great week for this lady. Puts her 3 pins ahead of DJ Archer.
Now, this is a big money shot here for Vaughn, because if he does not strike right here, he will actually finish behind Marcia, but ahead of DJ if he goes strike spare. So that will technically put him in 3rd place, waiting for Derek to bowl his 10th frame. Big shot right here. A lot of money at stake on this one shot. Well, not as great an execution as he would have liked.
Not his best.
He was hoping for something to happen a little better than that. But if he makes this, that will put him into a lock position for 3rd.
Okay, Derek still needing to make a good shot here and get some pins, and he did.
Out of trouble right there. Now, all he needs is to do is cover this. Actually, he doesn't even need it. He can flag this and still be our champion with 184.
Yeah,
so there is your winner.
He just needed a good pin count. No mark necessary. Vaughn Doody finishing up with 180. No bowler shooting 200.
Very difficult lane condition, and I'll tell you what, the scores turned out to show that.
So it's Derek Sapp that is the champion of the 2001 Brunswick Mini Eliminator. We'll be back to talk with him in just a moment. Brought to you by Brunswick, introducing the new Fuse. By National Airlines, everything is better up here. And by Dexter, footwork of the best players in the world. There's the final scores in the Brunswick Mini Eliminator. $100,000 paid out. And on top, $50,000 to Derek Sapp. There's your champion of the 2001 Brunswick Mini Eliminator. And with the trophy, Lori Tesmar, President of Sales and Marketing, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips.
Derek, great bowling today. You had a great tournament. On behalf of Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Brunswick, our host center, the Orleans, and the rest of the sponsors here this week, we'd like to present you with this trophy. Congratulations.
And Chip Zelke, the Marketing Director of Brunswick Consumer Products.
Derek, just to say the same. Great bowling this week. You deserve it. Congratulations from Brunswick. Thank you.
And finally, the big man, Robert Paravia, Director of Bowling at Coast Resorts.
Great, thank you. I'd just like to thank all the participants that came out this week to make this one of the greatest events in the world of its kind. Lori at Turbo, it's always a pleasure. Brunswick, you're a class act. Steve Sanders, you're the best. Derek, on behalf of the Orleans Hotel and Casino, it's a check for $50,000. Congratulations.
Oh, man. Oh, I'd just like to thank Brunswick, the Orleans, and Turbo 2-in-1. Without them, nobody'd be able to bowl for this amount of money. And I'd also like to thank my dad. Without him, I could never do any of this. And I'm just happy to have this much money.
Congratulations again to Derek Sapp and also to Pete Thomas, who won the Brunswick Shootout. This year it was Derek Sapp, and it could be you in 2002 bowling for $50,000. Call 1-877-900-MINI for information on both Mini Eliminators. Tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for the PWBA Finals of the Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open. Then look for the best in women's and men's professional bowling on ESPN2 and ESPN beginning in September. For David Ozio, I'm Jan Schmidt. So long, the Orleans Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.